2006 Chevy Malibu, 3.5 liter. And today I'm going to check the parking brake, or as it was originally known, the emergency brake, or e-brake. And why they call it a parking brake now is, I think a lot of people said, I don't want a car that has to have an emergency brake, so they changed it to parking brake. But it should be able to stop your car. And this has a lot of trouble with, these are through pad emergency brakes. My Impala had actually had a secondary set of, it was rotors all the way around, but it had the back rotor looked like a hat, and it was like a little mini brake drum inside. The parking brake had little brake shoes. I like that a lot. It would bring the car down to a stop with, if you put it in neutral, even at its speed, it would bring the car down to a stop. These don't. And what happens is the through pad levers, they rust, and they get like a high resistance to movement. So I'm going to check them today and make sure, because I tried to I had an issue with the car the other day, and so I tried to see if I could stop it with the emergency brake, and it wouldn't stop. It will if it's like in the driveway coasting, but it wouldn't do anything, it's like 40 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour. So I'm going to check that out right now. So that's frozen. It's in the braking position. So I squirted some penetrating oil in, right in there, where like the bearing surfaces are, and then I took a big screwdriver like this, and I pried it. See how I'm prying it down? It's almost in its all the way off position. All the way off positions against this, and it's got a big hairspring that's supposed to pull it all the way back after you release the brake. So what you have to do, I'm pretty sure that last time I did this, you have to keep applying the brake and pulling it back, and applying the brake and pulling it back until it'll freely return to this, all the way down against that stop right there. This right here. So now I'm going to put on the parking brake, or the e-brake. Probably have to do the other side too. The driver's side I got to release fully. Well, yeah, it's full. You can also use like a hammer and a punch, not a punch, but a driver, some kind of driver, to push this down, make sure the brake's released. So when you do that, and then you can put the brake on and hammer it down, and then release it, and then hammer it back down again, or hammer it up with it released. And now I'm squirting silicone on. Make sure you get both sides of the lever. So there's the driver's side. That's fully applied. The e-brake is fully applied. And there's the driver's side fully released. See, and this is not releasing. Brake released right now. Well, the one side works good. I could do like the Dukes of Hazzard and come flying down the street and put my parking brake on and spin around. So let me put the parking brake on again, or the e-brake. See, it didn't even, I don't think it budged much. So you can also take a pair of pliers. Now the brake's on, e-brake's on, so you can take a pair of pliers. And the cable looks a little, see how the cable looks a little misaligned, like that brackets have to bend that over a little bit. I might have done that prying with the screwdriver, so you have to be careful of that. It's still not releasing. And what it does is it wears the brake shoe out to get to the point where the wheel can spin. Well, one important note about using your parking brake is if you do try to do it, see if you can stop your car with your parking brake, do it in a parking lot with no cars, or if you do it on the road, do it on a deserted section with no cars in back of you. Because what will happen is if you just put your parking brake on, it's going to lock both your back tires up, just like you slammed on your brakes. So what you have to do is, if you have a release mechanism, like a flip lever, like under the dash, you put the parking brake on, you flip the lever, and it pops the brake off. You have to pull that lever out, just like you're releasing it all the way, and then the parking brake will act like a brake. It won't latch. You'll just apply and then release, apply and release. And if you have like a center console with a pull-up lever, like I have on my Sentra, that you have to push the button in on the top and leave that. You have to have the button pushed in, because if you just pull it up, you're going to lock the wheels up. But if you have the button, and you can apply the brake just like you can put it on and let it off, put it on, let it off, But if you don't push that button in, it's just going to latch up. And the brake on this, let's see, how's it work? It's like push on, push off, but I think you have to get to a certain point before it will latch up. There's no way to, I guess if it did latch, I just have to push in again and release, So that's something very important. So now it is locking the, it's locking the wheel. Now I'm going to release it. It's locking up. It's releasing. And it's releasing. And what I used WD-40 and I used silicone. I think this is what did it. The cheapy stuff from Walmart. Now it's expensive. It's like $3 a can. $3.50, $3.89, something like that. Back when I got this, it was like $1, $1.25, $1.35, something like that. But a lot of it is you have to let it sit for a while too. You can keep working it back and forth. Case closed. One other item I wanted to add was that when you put on the, you know that it's working when you put on the parking brake or the e-brake or emergency brake, and it should be almost effortlessly. And if you keep releasing it and applying it, it shouldn't get tighter and tighter. It should stay, I mean, it should go all the way to the floor, and it should be effortless. Okay, this is going to be a test using the parking brake. Went 20 miles an hour, 25. So we'll stop the car. Just like it should. I'm going to turn around and do 30. So this is going to be 30. 20. 25. 30. So that's not too shabby. It's not like the regular brakes, but like I said, it's for emergency. It's all you always drive with a. I mean, there's people that like out on the freeway, and I'm doing like 65 miles an hour, and they're like 2 feet off my bumper. I mean, as long as you keep a safe distance, if anything happens, you prepare for that. Usually nothing will, but it's good to prepare.